right, let's go to AV Media.
Can you hear me now?
Us, if you can.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Let's go.
So what's the issue?
I don't know where you came in on the stream. Where did you come in?
Probably about 10 minutes ago.
Okay. So you wanted to speak on the economy. I heard it. We played the clip of you saying this. So,
okay.
The so-called left, right? Where are your sources that the economy is not doing good?
Well, I don't have them with me right now, but the way people are...
I'm sorry.
Hey, go on, man. Go ahead, AB.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, the numbers do look good. I'm not gonna dispute that. Employment's at an all-time low, but when you talk to people, they're not happy. I do understand the numbers are what they are, and also groceries. The groceries are not going down. Now I understand it takes time, and that's not entirely Biden's fault, but there's a lot of stuff coming up. Like next month, they're going to start back student loan payments, and the economy's going to take a hit. And I just hope
because of student loans. Because of student loans. I'm just trying to understand.
No, because they're going to start making them repay it next month. They've been on a.
But they only have to repay up to 5% of their income.
Okay.
You understand that, right? So that means if they're making, let's say, minimum wage in fact, if they're making minimum wage, I don't even think they have student loans at this point. I think that's been, I think they were the first ones to get their loans completely absolved or resolved. And so the only ones who really have to pay are ones who meet who are above the poverty rate, the poverty levels, federal poverty levels. So I'm not sure if that's going to impact the economy as you're saying, but to this point, I don't know where you said you came in 10 minutes ago, but let's just look at my sources. And we've covered this earlier, but I'll just do it for you. This is from Bloomberg. The economy is going Biden's way. Now he has to get voters to give him credit. This is from Bloomberg.
Okay.
This is from CNBC. Morgan Stanley credits Bidenomics for much stronger than expected GDP growth. According to these sources in factcheck.org, let me see if I can pull up FactCheck. Factcheck.org says that the economy is also doing good too. The numbers reflect that. So that's why I'm trying to understand, where did you get that statement last night that you made on the Coliseum that the left, the Black Brain Trust, Mike V, says that the economy is doing good, but it's not being reflected where?
Well, one I'm listening to the economist Richard Wolff. That's one of the guys that said the economy's not doing as good as the numbers might seem.
But Rick Wolff is a Marxist economist, so he has a Marxist lens at everything he's looking at. Not saying he's wrong, but he uses a Marxist lens. And so for all of the quote unquote anti-left rhetoric that goes on in this space, I'm surprised that anybody would use a Marxist economist's view on the economy, but then revert back into a non-Marxist perspective. I don't understand that lens, but I get it. Any source that could be used to prop up the idea that the economy is not doing good.
Let me address because I did hear you guys mention Ron DeSantis. Under no circumstances would I vote for Ron DeSantis. I'll tell you that straight up.
Okay.
He's a racist grifter, and everybody sees that. That's some goofy shit he's doing in Florida with the slavery benefited somebody. Yeah, right. No, I don't agree with that.
Okay. I mean, he thinks he can win the nomination for the party. I don't see that.
He's not going to beat Trump.
I think
okay.
Republicans that we can agree on. But if the objective of the Republicans is to pull in more black votes, especially from black men, I don't think that Ron DeSantis is the ambassador of that agenda. I think that black men going into the Republican Party today is walking into a burning house. I don't see what they're going to get out of it. When I hear people in the space talk about Democrats and leftist policies, I'm not sure if they understand that the Republicans have zero policies that would be advantageous to black men at this point. Unless you know of something I don't, because last time Trump's policies, was supposed to bring carrier into Indiana, that was a very short stint. They got $1 billion out of it, and then they took off and went to Mexico and left a lot of black men who worked at carrier high and dry and unemployed with COVID on top of that. I don't see anybody in this space who claims to be in opposition to what's considered to be the left actually having that conversation about black men suffering, trying to work extended hours because places like Indiana kind of ignored COVID restrictions and had a lot of these folks working on these assembly lines, under COVID conditions. I don't know. I don't know where some of these folks, at least maybe under your stream or maybe on that side of the space, where they're coming from with these ideas that Biden is doing such a poor job. I don't see it reflected anywhere in these sources. I'm seeing all sorts of numbers boasted. It says right here, actually, are we looking at the screen? Yeah, it says right here, the economy added 12.6 million jobs under Biden, putting the total 3.2 million higher than before the pandemic, which is Trump's administration.
Okay.
I mean, the term Bidenomics means that he has a policy in place, right? An economic policy in place. When you start talking about Trump and a lot of black men saying they came up under Trump, I find that very dubious, because how can that be the case if the numbers are not reflected there? And then suddenly black men just stop coming up under Biden. I don't understand where some of these cats are coming from, but maybe you can explain their side of that argument.
Well, when we see Biden, we see a lot of symbolism. Like, for example, his latest scheme, he wants to make a statue of Emmett Till and Emmett Till's mother, make a monument of Emmett Till and Emmett Till's mother.
Yeah, I think that's a part of American history, don't you think?
Yeah, but I would have preferred he arrested Carolyn Bryant and charged her before she died.
Well, I mean, that's up to the the state's attorneys who were in the state that she was in, that she resided in. I mean, they couldn't even find her for quite some time until they saw that she was in hospice or somewhere where she was supposed to be at. I think that's out of Biden's control. I don't think that Biden is in charge of arresting people, but I do get your point. I think that when you have Republicans and conservatives who actually were protecting this woman, I mean, the fact that these same people want to deny that race was even involved. It was a racial lynching. We had Rand Paul, the son of Ron Paul, filibustering the anti-lynching bill. I didn't see not one content creator in the manosphere even highlighting this. The very lynching bill that would have protected George Floyd, for that matter, or many other black men who have been choked to death by these Anglo-Saxon men. What I hear from a lot of these people in this space is, just hilarious is more important than, this brother being choked out on the train by Penny. I don't hear people talking about this. So When you say the left, what is your perspective on the left? How do you define that?
How do I define left? People who are for universal health care, people who want to not be in a proxy war, which is another problem that I have with Biden right now. He's in a proxy war with Russia, and everybody sees that with Ukraine. You there?
That's your interpretation of the left? That's your interpretation of the left?
Somewhat, yes.
Okay. Let me not take up a lot more time. Anybody else on the panel have any questions for AB Media?
Yeah, where do they have universal health care in the country? AB Media.
Universal health care in the country. This country or?
Yeah, where do they have universal health care in this country?
Nowhere.
So how are you worried about universal health care when there's nowhere in the country?
Okay.
All right.
Did you mean universal? Did you mean universal health care or affordable health? The Affordable Health Care Act?
Universal.
No.
Okay.
You heard it right. So
Okay.
what was the second issue that you seen the left pass? So we don't have universal health care anywhere in the country. Only people who do have universal health care are politicians. They are taken care of from cradle to grave. If they serve one day in the actual seat of somebody, they get health care for life. That's the only universal health care we have in this country. It's for politicians. So, and some veterans under certain circumstances. What was the other thing you seen the left have?
In the proxy wars.
Any proxy war? You mean like with Ukraine?
Yes.
What were you for? I mean, do you have any sources about you not liking the Iraq and Afghanistan war?
I wasn't for those wars either.
So you're against just all wars, period?
No, I was for them going in Afghanistan and getting Osama bin Laden. Let's not get it twisted. But
okay, but how long did that take, though?
probably about, let's see, probably around 10 years.
Okay.
According
How long
to
did we
whenever the war started and when Obama claimed they killed him, allegedly killed him.
Okay, so you don't think that Osama bin Laden was killed by the United States government?
Yeah, I'm not sure. They say they have his body, but I've heard from some other people that may not be true. But for now, yeah, I guess that's the truth.
Did you watch the interview with the well-known guy who was the guy who actually shot bin Laden to the face? Did you actually watch that interview with that
No,
guy?
I did not.
It's on YouTube. Yeah.
No, I did
There's
not.
an actual Navy SEAL guy. I'm not sure why he's famous, because there was a team of like 27 people out there. But the guy who actually shot bin Laden through his eye, you could watch that interview from that guy who actually shot him. And he'll tell you the entire story about what they did with the barrier at sea and all of that. Because there are no sources that say that didn't happen. And I doubt that there's as much money and fame that guy got off of that story. I doubt that guy will come out here saying that if he did not take the shot.
Okay. I'll check it out. Okay.
But the war in Afghanistan and Iraq, a whole bunch of money was spent on it. We won those wars based off of lies. If bin Laden was right next to the Pakistani, army base or whatever, that means we could have got bin Laden a hell of a lot sooner than that. Which means we spent a hell of a lot more time in Afghanistan than we actually need to be, because we actually let Bin Laden go into a war.
I think his name is Chris Kyle.
Yeah.
Kyle. Okay.
Chris Kyle.
Hey, Mike. Hey, Mike. Hey, listen, man. Thanks for letting me
Yes,
up.
sir.
I think I've seen all I needed to see and heard all I needed to hear. Wonderful
All right,
job.
man.
I think this is I think we've made our point. Anyway, thank you. And you guys hey, AB Media, you take care of yourself, all right? You take care.
All
All right, you guys take care, man.
All right, so we could have got Bin Laden in like I think 3 weeks.
Yeah, and
we
that's
let him
Bush's
go into a
and
war.
that's Bush's fault. Don't trust me. I don't blame no Democrat. That's Bush's fault.
Okay.
What was his name again? I'm sorry.
Chris
Chris-
Kyle.
I think his name is Chris Kyle.
Okay, I got it.
I-
Okay.
I think Chris Kyle was the guy who had like the most sniper shots in history. I don't think he's the guy who actually shot Bin Laden. I think it's another guy, actually, who was on SEAL Team 6. Yeah, because they did a movie after the Chris Kyle guy, the guy who eventually got killed by another veteran. But yeah, it's just that. All right, so you got anything else you see the left as other than proxy wars with actual Ukraine
Well,
and universal health care that isn't there at all?
unfortunately, this is not necessarily the part of left that I listen to, but some of this are some of them are on this pro LGBTQ ABCDEFG stuff.
Okay, so here's the thing with that. That is a two-party thing, just like women is a two-party thing. Now, if the Supreme Court, who have a 6-3 supermajority, can take away or partially made it look like they was taking away abortion rights, how come the 6-3 supermajority don't take away LGBT rights?
Because the probably LGBT in the conservative ranks too.
Okay, so you tried to make it a left-wing issue when you know it's a both-party issue.
Well, I'm making a left-wing issue because I don't see the right putting the rainbow flag over the White House.
They may not put a rainbow flag, but they'll put a Confederate flag though.
Fair enough.
People who have to remove their actual, you're worried about the symbolism of a flag being put up over the people who can actually take their rights away, who have the power to do that and not doing it.
Hey, AB Media, I was looking at your channel, and
Okay.
I had some questions. Do you think Pearly Things is here for help black boys in the Supreme Court and legislation?
Probably. Hell no.
Oh, okay. Well, another question.
She's to her credit, she's come out and said she's in it for the money. So it is
Okay,
what it is.
I got you. Okay, so another question. Do you think No Voting, No Fucking was a Democratic sponsored commercial?
Yes, I do.
Okay, it wasn't. So.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
the funding for that was tied directly to an organization. I forget what the name of the organization, but it was help funded by Michelle Obama. Yes, I think No Voting, No Fucking was a Democratic plot. I also think what was the other one? Get Your Booty to Close was them too.
Okay, okay. If somebody who does it, that doesn't mean it's the Democratic Party. They didn't sanction that. They didn't sponsor it. I mean, if a person that happened to vote Democratic did it, that doesn't mean the Democratic Party did. I just thought I'd let that be known. So I don't know, man. I was looking at your channel.
To your point,
Okay.
to your point, Lou, I don't mean to interrupt you, but to your point, it will be the equivalent of the Manosphere making a campaign ad using memes.
Right.
It's not indicative of the Republican Party or the Libertarian Party. It's the Manosphere doing it. But see, we understand that aspect, but we don't understand that when it comes to no voting, no fucking.
Right, exactly. And then I was looking. I mean, you said Roland Martin is a clown. Your ancestors
Yes, he
didn't
is.
die. I was just asking. I was wondering where that was at when he asked you about, what's your problem.
Well, he actually blocked me on Twitter. I didn't really say anything bad to him, but he came out and said, called people punk asses because they didn't vote in 2022. Well, here's the problem. I didn't vote in 2022, so I took offense to that. So I made a little short saying my ancestors died for your punk ass to buck dance for Hillary Clinton. And
So I got a question for you. Do you want to see political change in this country, AB Media?
Yes, I do.
How do you get to see political change if you don't vote? How does that work?
Well, I was at work. You send a message to the person who's always begging and asking and acting like they own your vote that you don't own my vote.
Okay. So tell me a time in history where not voting got something done.
Not voting got something done. Civil rights movement.
That was voting.
Yeah. That was about voting. Getting the right to vote.
Yeah,
no, they didn't trust them. They did that because they didn't want you to tear the country up.
Did black people vote or not?
Yes, they switched parties once the Democrats decided they wanted to get behind civil rights.
So they did vote.
Yeah, mostly black folk were Republicans up till that time.
But they voted
because the Republican Party was the party that advocated for their interests.
Yeah,
at the time.
Could you tell me, since the parties did switch, what was the best time to be a actual black Republican since the parties did switch from the 1960s? Like, what is the Renaissance period? Could you name me any piece of legislation that was passed by a Republican administration that targeted black people and black people only during that? I'm talking about like 1960s to the present.
Oh, 1960s to the present. Okay.
Yeah. After the civil rights legislation, obviously.
Because I was going to say Dwight D. Eisenberg, you said 1960s to the present. I can't think of any.
All right.
Because Nixon didn't care for us, and Reagan most definitely didn't give a shit about us.
So, which party do you vote for?
It depends.
Okay, so
you didn't actually participate the last time. So, all right.
It depends. If I like what the Republicans talk about, I might vote for Republican. If I like what the Democrats talking about, I might vote for the Democrat. It depends.
Okay, so do you think Ice Cube is a legitimate political actor?
Yeah.
How?
Well, he's using this he's using this celebrity for political action. What's the big deal?
Okay, so what did Ice Cube get passed at any other time in history? What piece of legislation that Ice Cube is solely responsible for anywhere in this country? Anywhere, anytime in history? Could you name me anything that Ice Cube is actually personally responsible for that's being passed?
Well, nothing right now, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't try.
Okay.
I mean, I get your point. He hasn't got any legislation passed, but that doesn't mean he should give up and go home.
I mean, but he's not participating in the actual process. He hasn't picked a side. You get things from the side.
Why would you need to pick a side? You guys have stated yourself before I got on that both parties don't like us.
No. So, like, what you're doing is that you have to understand both parties don't like you, but you still have to participate. It's kind of like if I want to see an NBA championship, and I'm not sure how the Denver Nuggets end up winning this year, but they did. That's my city. If I want to see an NBA championship, I got to choose the Eastern or the Western Conference. no matter what's going on, I gotta be able to choose one if I want to see a champion of some sort, right?
Yeah.
There is no middle of the road. There's going to be a champion. There's going to be a winner. So in order for you to be able to see some type of progress, you can't wait just till the actual election, because you don't get to vote in the primaries. You don't even get to pick the candidates on the ballot. Now you're just waiting to be pandered towards in the actual election, and then you probably don't even end up getting anything. So people who organize for a side, they get exactly what they want to. The Jews are on both sides. Most Asians are on both sides.
So why do y'all yell at brothers who want to be on the right side?
You're not on the right side. You're in the middle, but you're attacking the left. That's different than just being plainly on the right. That's way different. Because when people are on the left and when people are on the right, you can coordinate to get stuff done because you got a mixed caucus of people. But when you got people who are in the middle, you can't really track where they are, and we on the left are doing things actually for black people, and you're kind of nowhere to be found, and you don't participate in the process, we're kind of out there on our own. And what is happening in this process is that you're leveraging our political participation when you haven't picked a side. If you're on the right, great. I never said not be on the right. I'm just saying, you go on the right, go out there and be on the right. Be out in front, out there on the right, so that way you can do that when you're actually on a political side. If you're not on the political side and nobody knows where you stand at, you'll never get anything tangibly done. Especially if I have to declare that I'm on the left and everybody else is not even participating or else standing there in the middle. You go to these southern states, you see that nobody actually participates in the actual election process. And the only thing they're doing is leveraging the actual collective failure of people who are. So how do you get progress your way? With your level of understanding, how do we get progress? Your specific way, how do we get it?
Well, how do we get specific progress? Particularly with the Democrat Party, you gotta put your foot down with them. And I just don't see that. I don't see that enough.
Okay,
Yeah,
no. You misunderstood the question.
Okay.
I asked you what are you going to do? Like, what is your plan to success? Because people are already showing up to vote on the left. They're not really showing up to vote on the right. I mean, on the right. We're talking about no policy on the right. They're on the right because it's just purely representation matters, and they got all these side projects and all that kind of
I'm
stuff.
not necessarily on the right.
But you can't attack people on the left unless you are on the right.
That doesn't make
Okay.
any sense.
It does make a lot of sense. 'Cause here's
That
the thing.
doesn't make any
People-
sense. People on the left attack people on the left all the time. That doesn't make
Okay,
any
well,
sense.
let me explain. If you're on the left, you already picked a side. You declared a side. You get to attack whoever you want to, left or right. But you haven't picked a side, whether it's left or right, but you only wanted to attack the left when it's convenient, the right when it's horrible, but you don't have a side declared.
So what?
Okay, well, you're not a legitimate political actor. The only thing you are a political saboteur at this point. We don't know where you are. We don't know where you stand. We can't coordinate with you with anything. You clearly don't, pretty much know anything about the process. And once you get cornered on, you're not even participating.
And y'all think you're gonna gain independence with that attitude? Okay.
What is independence? Like, what does that mean?
The majority of people are not registered as a Democrat or a Republican in this country. If that's the attitude you're gonna have towards them, that's how you're gonna get more people to your side, to pick your side, the left.
Okay, AB Media. If that's true, what state in the United States have voted for an independent for a senator and an actual presidential candidate and an actual state legislature that is purely independent? If what you say is true, there should be at least one state in this union that has an independent assembly of some kind. Could you name me one of those?
No, there isn't one.
Even Bernie
Okay.
Sanders had to go with the Democrats.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like, okay. So you know that being an independent is really not really picking a side. So you have to pick left or right if you want progress.
Why?
You got to be able to, okay, because here's
You
the
have to use one or the other.
Why?
complex. Let me explain. Because no matter what your platform is, you got to caucus with somebody. You have to caucus with somebody. Even if it's Jesse Ventura, he caucused mostly with the left because he's a libertarian when he was a governor. So at the end of the day, in order to get your actual particular things through, you have to caucus with the side. Susan Collins from Maine claimed to be an independent, always actually lobbies or even votes with the actual Republican Party. Bernie Sanders is an independent, but can't get shit done on his own. He has to lobby with the actual Democratic Party.
Exactly.
So even if you are in the middle, like you claim you are, you still have to pick a side in order for you to get your agenda through. Because you just can't say, I'm going to stop at just being in the middle and not pick a side to get the actual things done. Because there's another step to this being in the middle. Because once you're in the middle, now you got twice the amount of work with half the representation because you didn't vote in the primary. So now you have to choose a side in order to get your caucus through. Because most of the things that you brought up are not even things that are even on the ballot. Universal health care, not on the ballot. Been sold out by the actual Democratic Party, by the way. Right? There was nobody in the Republican Party who was for universal health care or single payer at all. So the healthcare party and the people who actually did healthcare was on the left, not the right. And they're not even doing the universal healthcare thing because they're completely bought out and paid for by the actual insurance lobby. So
Yeah,
I'm
what else
asking
is
you,
there?
from your understanding of in the middle, what is your timeline to get the success your way with your understanding of how this works?
I don't know.
If you don't know, how are you going to be critical of a platform like ours?
Okay, you guys think we have all the answers?
No, what I'm saying is if you can't answer questions like that, then just understand that dudes like us are going to do live streams like this about guys like you. Do you understand that?
Fine.
Okay, so
AB
if
Media,
it's fine.
please
Well,
understand how
just
the
hold
system
on,
works.
MOT, let me get this out just real quick. See, so AB Media, just on the record. So fine. Then you know what? I'm going to tell you right now, bro. I don't want to hear shit when it comes to, you know, the BGS side or whatever that side you come from in terms of what it is that we're talking about and what we're on, because what just got put on display here over the last 30, 40 minutes here is the fact that you're not equipped to be critical of us when you can't answer the type of questions MOT was asking you.
I mean, in order to actually participate in the process, you got to have all this stuff figured out. You got to have a framework laid out. You got to have a pathway to success, because you just can't hide in your bunker and wait till the perfect candidate comes around who says all this stuff that they're going to be able to do for you, because by being in the middle, you actually don't have any leverage depending on what state you're in. Like independents really don't have all that much type of leverage. Like California, New York, Colorado, like them independents don't get shit. They don't get anything. They have to vote with the majority party of what's going on. They have to wait till election day, look at the ballot, read the actual ballot, and that's just it. It's like you have to update your level of political engagement. Otherwise, you're just going to be waiting in your bunker and talking about things that are literally not even on the ballot. So like I said, if this LGBT thing is that much of a big deal to you, you should be knocking on the door of the Supreme Court, asking them how come they have not taken their rights away. Because this is something that they actually have the right to do. They gave them to them, they can take them away. Just like abortion rights. They had the rights to abortion, then they took them away. So we got to be able to understand how the actual system works, and you have to be able to have a level of participation that we can track. You can track my participation. I'm on the left. Our city works fine. Even for black people who don't show up. City works fine. As long as you want to be productive, They got free training at Aurora Community College or Denver Community College or even Front Range Community College, all up and down the Front Range area, which is the Denver metro area. We solved all those issues already.
Okay.
And even if people are in the middle, they still vote for the left or right candidate because you don't want to live in right-wing areas in Colorado. No city services, no mass transit, nothing. You just stuck out there. Lights turn off at certain times in the night, depending on what small ass city you in. I'm like, all this stuff matters, bro. So what I'm saying is that, dude, you have to have a nuanced understanding of how this stuff works, so that way you can get the most out of the process. Because right now, the way you're going, you don't even have a pathway to even get anything out of the process at all. I want you to get some shit out of this shit. I don't want you just holding your vote and thinking that you're holding some hostage. I want you to have some real leverage out here. Leverage from participation, man.
Okay, well, I haven't picked a side yet.
Okay. So there's only two legitimate sides, left or right.
Well, I have a question.
Oh, Cornell West is not a side? Okay.
Even if he gets elected, he'll run with the Democrats. But I got a question,
likely.
maybe. So what's on the right that's appealing to you?
What's on the right that's appealing to me?
Mm-hmm.
Well, tell what you want about Trump. He has a pair of balls, and that I just do not see that with the Democrat Party and leadership.
What does that mean?
Oh, yeah.
Whoa!
could you
Wait a
explain
second.
that?
Wait a second here. Yeah.
Yeah, man, you heard what you heard. I mean, hopefully you can explain it.
Yeah, I don't. Well, let me rephrase that. I don't see Democrats push for stuff that they claim they want at all. Like, for example,
I mean, like the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. You don't see them pushing that?
no, not effectively enough, because when
Okay, so
Biden
who's voting against
hold on,
that?
wait a minute, let me finish.
Okay.
Because when Biden was doing Build Back Better, I didn't say anything. I tried to stay quiet and thought, like, okay, let me see what they're going to do. And it ended up being, well, they got a little bit, but it was nowhere near what they were talking about.
Okay, so let's stop right here. What party was voting against what he wanted to do in that bill?
Republicans.
How come he couldn't go? Okay, so are you for the Republican Party for him not getting more than what he needed? Or are you for the Democratic Party, the person who you was waiting for to put a whole bunch of stuff in that bill?
Say that again. So just to clarify.
So for this specific issue, if Biden was trying to put a whole bunch of stuff in the bill, in the Build Back Better, which did work, by the way, because we got Biden economics going on right now. So if Biden was doing things to try to help the economy,
Mm-hmm.
and the Republican Party was trying to push for more tax cuts in the bill rather than social programs and all that kind of stuff.
As we're
and that's
Democrats, but go ahead.
No, it's for everybody in the country, regardless of where you live. It isn't no either or.
No, I was saying Democrats will push for tax cuts too, but go ahead.
Not as many as the Republican Party.
Fair enough. Go ahead.
Okay, so in this specific instance, what was it on the Republican side that the Republicans was bringing up about the Build Back Better plan that you liked that they was putting in?
None of it really, but
Okay, so none of it you liked that the Republican Party was doing. Okay, so you don't like the Republican plan, so you must like most of what Biden was doing, correct?
correct.
Okay, so when you did not participate in the actual process, you do realize you're leveraging everybody else's collective participation in the process when it came to the Build Back Better plan. And it's everything that happens in politics. When you do not participate and you do not pick a side, you're literally making it hard for everybody else who does pick a side. Even if you're a Republican, if you sit at home, if you stay out, you cannot say that you want progress. Because progress comes
Okay, I
from
don't agree with that,
participation.
but okay.
Okay. Again, let's go over it. How does progress happen when you don't participate in a representative democracy, where was based on you showing up? How does progress happen your way? With your understanding of how the system works, 200 some years, how does the actual system work your way?
Well, how the system works is when enough people stop showing up, sooner or later, one side's gonna have to break.
Not necessarily. Okay, so I got a question. You watch sports at all?
Somewhat, yeah.
Okay. Let's go with basketball. You do realize a team can decide to forfeit any game that they want to, or all games if they want to, correct?
Correct.
When one side forfeits, who wins that battle?
The other side.
Again, so you understand how sports work, but you don't understand how politics work. Because you want people to stay home that's going to send a message. The only message you're going to send is the other people are just going to walk through with the victory.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is that you have to continuously actually participate if you continuously want incremental change. It requires constant participation in order for that to work and in order for that to happen. Because you understand it when it comes to sports, but you want people to stay at home when it comes to politics. So you understand that forfeiting the game, you don't get anything out of forfeiting the game. You don't get to complain about the game that you forfeited once you forfeit the game. That means you lost. You don't have any leverage by not showing up to not play. The only leverage that you have is clean clothes. That's the only leverage that you have in a situation like that.
Okay.
And AB, I want to let you know. I just want to say this real quick. The Republicans, the right, whatever you want to call them, they don't represent majority of the country. So when you don't vote, you're essentially voting for them. So it's kind of like because they need.
Yeah. How long think you gonna tell people that bullshit?
How is it bullshit?
It's not. It's literally how the
It's horse shit, and you know it.
How is it horse shit? So Trump won. So when Trump won, right? You do know that when Trump won, Hillary did not get the amount of votes that Obama got.
That's Hillary's damn fault. That's not Trump's fault.
But black people didn't. Black people didn't show up like they did.
That's Hillary's damn fault. That's not our fault. Why is that our problem?
Sir.
Why is that our problem?
AB Media.
She didn't do what she needed to do to get our vote. Why is that our problem?
What I'm trying to convey, brother, is just that when you don't vote, that's a vote for Republican because they that's why they're gerrymandering. That's what they're trying to stop black people from voting now. That's the point. You're not you're saying it like you
and the way the white numbers are diminishing, they can't do that forever. You think we don't see that shit? They can't do that forever. Sooner or later, they're gonna have to bend.
Okay. What's the timeline then, sir? If this is your plan,
I don't know the timeline.
What is your timeline?
What year is that gonna happen?
I don't know.
So then you can't bank on that. You got to just go what you know now, and what we know now is when black people don't show up and vote, that's a vote for Republicans. That they need black people.
So what?
What do you mean? So what?
That's what I'm talking about. Why should we kiss the Democrat Party's ass like that?
It's not kissing. That's not kissing.
Yes,
ass.
it is.
No, you saying Trump had balls? That's kissing ass. That's not. No, that's actual kissing ass. You're kissing Trump's ass. That's not kissing Democrats' ass by voting. That didn't even make sense.
I mean, at least we're voting off policy. I mean, you're voting off a dude got a pair of balls. You didn't say how big the balls were, what he was doing with the balls, what kind of policy was passed off the balls. What's going on here?
You holding Trump.
We're asking for specifics.
No, Trump's an asshole. Yeah, Trump's an asshole. I don't kiss his ass.
No, you said he had big balls. That's why you voted. You said, I asked you what appeals to you on the right. You said Trump got big balls. That was your answer. You didn't say anything about a policy. You didn't say anything about a piece of legislation. No forms, no acts. You didn't say anything. You said Trump got big balls.
Well, look. Now, as far as the reason I actually voted for Trump is because I thought he was the lesser of two evils.
Okay, Biden, that's
fine. No, he didn't do everything.
But you didn't vote, though.
I voted in 2020.
Okay.
I didn't vote in 2022. I voted in 2020.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
And for the record, I've voted ever since I was 18. I'm 40 now. I've voted ever since I was 18. And mostly
Yes, I seen it in
Democrat.
Art No Stall. Yeah. I seen it in Art No Stall chat when you did say that. So, all right. So,
And up to 2016, mostly Democrat.
AB Media, if you, I don't care who you vote for. I want you to show up and participate, man. Every time, I want you to participate. I don't give a damn who's on the ballot. I don't give a damn what's on the ballot. Can we get you solid about to just at least participate in the process, please?
Sure.
All right. So, guess we made some progress today. All right. No further questions from me.
And for the record, I don't necessarily, you know, if you want to participate, that's fine. I'm not necessarily telling people that want to participate not to participate. But if you're tired of them, I'm not going to say anything. If you want to sit it out.
No, I mean, but that's what you said earlier, that you want people to not participate so that way the system's going to get better at some point. So you can't say that you're not for that when you literally just said that a little while ago. Okay. Maybe I heard it wrong. Could you clean up your statement?
Yeah, I'm not saying necessarily I want everybody to sit down at home and not participate. But first of all, we both know that's not going to happen. There's some people that they're going to vote for the left no matter what I do. I know that. But I'm just speaking to the people that are tired of some of the stuff the left is doing. Maybe an option is not to participate.
Okay.
The message.
And that's why I asked you the question. How do you get what you want if you don't participate in the people who do show up and they do participate? Now it's becoming circular because you say that you understand how the system works. And you're trying to leverage the people who are frustrated because the people who are frustrated, they don't understand the process. If they simply understood the process and knowing that most of this vote is stopping bad shit from happening rather than getting stuff, this stuff would be way better off. Trust me, I'm from Mississippi.
So now we're
even
just
show up
voting
to vote down there.
So now we're just voting to stop bad shit from happening.
Yes.
That's
Yes, to
That's
stop
part of voting.
to stop fascism. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, can I ask a question? Can I ask him a question?
You're not stopping fascism, but go ahead, Complex.
Bro, you
Okay. So you name me any point in time in American history, right, in terms of politics, where the political system auto or self-corrected itself.
Never.
Okay, so then explain to me the efficacy of inactivity when it comes to voting and being engaged in the political process.
Okay, repeat the question, just so I can pull it.
If that is the case, then explain to me what are the advantages of not doing anything with regards to the political process, i.e. voting, running for positions yourself, lobbying.
Well, as you said, you guys are voting to stop bad things from happening.
No.
Doing,
Wait, hold on a second. That's not exactly what I said. I said that a lot of voting is making sure that bad things don't happen. That's not the specific reason why people vote. There are candidates there. There are ballot initiatives. There's a lot of stuff on there.
Yeah.
It's not just primarily that. It's that plus. It's not an either or. It's a not only but also.
Okay, but I want to follow up on this because you said you're an independent.
Yes.
So am I. I'm a registered independent here in California, and I'm trying to understand where you're coming from as an independent. Like, what is as an independent? Because I can tell you mine. I'll be more than happy to disclose all of it, right? But what is your reasoning for identifying as an independent? Do you have some sort of special interest?
I don't agree. I don't necessarily agree with either party on how in the direction. I agree with some things, on some circumstances with the Democrat Party, and some things with the Republican Party. But
okay. No, I was letting you finish, bro. I'm sorry.
But I just pick a bit, as MOT said, when I go to the voting booth now, I just pick a side. and I try to
Okay.
listen to both candidates, and I do understand because you're in Mississippi, right, on MLT?
No. I was born in Mississippi. I actually live in Colorado.
Okay.
In Colorado.
Now, certainly, I can there are some Republicans. I would never tell anybody to vote for the Republicans in Mississippi. No, you can't vote for those dudes. As MLT said, you do need to pick a side down there.
So which Republican you should vote for? Give me an example. Give me an example. Give me a Republican you should vote for. That's different than Tate Reeves.
I mean, what voting state are you in?
Indiana.
Is that where you vote at, or that's where you live at? You go across the
Indiana.
Illinois, or do you?
Yeah, Indiana.
Oh my God! Like what Republican?
Do you okay? Are there any politicians registered as independents that you support in Indiana?
Not at this time.
There's none that are running as independents.
No, I haven't seen anybody run as an independent.
Okay. The
It's
reason
usually
why I'm
Democrat
asking-
or Republican.
Well, no, but but see, you yourself can register as an independent, and what I'm trying to pin down is your reasoning for doing it. Because like I said, I'm a registered independent, but I can tell you why I am. Because see, I vote my business interest, and because of this, I have to be indifferent. I have to largely be indifferent. I have to deal with if there's a Republican government in office in my city or in my state or whatever it is, or if it's a Democrat-led government. As an independent, I have to have indifference to know how to deal with both. That's why I'm like, okay, are you an independent for the right reasons or the wrong reasons? Because see, what I don't like,
Okay,
is I don't
for the,
like people who I don't like people who take this position right here, right, and then will talk shit, right, about dudes like us, even though we have legitimate reasons for being either independent or quote unquote leftist, as you guys like to call it. There's like this real kind of gaslighting catch-all phrase that has way more nuance to it. So this is why I'm asking you, what is it? Why specifically are you independent? And based on what I'm getting, it's just because both sides have BS going on.
No, I'm an independent for, like, as you said, for my interests.
Right, and that's what I asked you. What are those interests?
Yeah.
My interest is affordable health care.
Wait a minute. Wait, hold on a second.
Yeah.
You just said that you didn't want universal health care, which would lower healthcare costs. Now you said the first issue out of your mouth was lower
I never said that. Wait a minute. I never said that.
What he said, MOT,
I never said that.
He said how he
Okay,
identifies. He said how he identifies a leftist as somebody who's for it.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
My bad.
yeah.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I never said I never wanted lower health care costs.
But then when you be a leftist, then
Yeah. This is the first issue out of your mouth?
yeah, that was the first thing you said. You said you identify leftists by people who are for universal health care, and then now you're saying you for affordable health care. Like so you're a leftist. I get it, bro. I get it, AB, bro.
Well, no, what I want to know is his interest, because what he's actually identifies as is an independent.
No, I know what it is, bro. He's a dissatisfied left. I see what it is, but that's why when you got all riled up about kissing Democrats' ass and hookah woo, hey, bro, I get it, bro. You're dissatisfied, right? I understand what you're saying, bro. But
Citizen Lou. Here's the point I'm trying to highlight. I don't want to be gaslit by another quote unquote independent. Do you guys follow where I'm going with this shit?
I'm not trying to lie to you.
Well, I ain't saying you're trying to lie. I'm saying you're gaslighting us.
Okay, how?
Because how the shit that you talked that Mike played earlier in this live stream from last night on your live stream, and then now you're over here, and now we're seeing what time it really is. And I'm saying you're talking to another independent here. So now I'm really kind of checking your temperature right about now. What has you being an independent? Now you said affordable health care. I can actually go with that.
Me too.
And I just want to know, what are your interests? I want to know more about your political position, given the opinions that you had about us.
What are my political interests? Okay.
Yeah, you said affordable health care. What else?
Reasonable government. Reasonable.
That's vague. Be more specific. That's vague. Be more specific.
Be more specific. Reasonable government. Not too much government regulation, but enough.
What does that even mean?
Are you saying at the
Okay.
federal level? Or are you saying at the state level?
Federal
Because there's two
level.
different regulations.
Federal
What about
level.
the state? I mean, your state, your state
Well-
is your state really regulates where you are, right? Like for example, Keystone Pipeline wouldn't be able to pass through a place like Massachusetts. That no one in the state would ever tolerate that because the regulations for oil drilling and pipelines would never pass. But in conservative states, that passes just fine, right? So when it comes to state regulation versus Fed, it starts at the state level, not necessarily at the federal level, because states' rights and federal laws don't always commingle with each other. So although the Fed may have some regulation, that doesn't always mean that states are going to adhere to it, right? That's like the Second Amendment is one regulation where states have, conservative states have basically absolved themselves from any sort of federal intervention. You understand that part, right?
Yeah.
So what's your state choice?
Right. So mostly, yeah, which is their choice. But when you say less regulation, well, let's look at the last 3 mass shootings. In every single instance of these mass shootings, whether it's Buffalo, Uvalde, the other one down in is it Dallas, where the Latino, white, Hispanic went on a rampage in the mall? They got those guns legally. How much less regulation needs to be restricted or absolved to satisfy you in that area?
We need universal background for class. Universal background
check.
checks. Background checks. I do believe in that. Even for the gun shows.
There's a
But
specific
that- but
political
that
party that
is-
doesn't want that to happen.
I know, and they're stupid
Right.
for that. And I don't dispute that. We gotta be reasonable. Don't get it twisted. I am not for taking everybody's guns, but we do need reasonable. That's what I mean by reasonable government regulation.
Okay, well that's a left-wing issue, like the healthcare left-wing issue. Universal background checks at gun stores, definitely a left-wing issue.
Defunding the ATF, definitely a right-wing issue.
Tax and ammunition, the amount of ammunition that's caused for mass destruction over a certain amount of cartridges and bullets. That's how I think. I think that's the best way to do it. But yeah, what else, man? So what other issues you got, AB? Because it sounded pretty leftist.
Yeah, I mean, do you have like some purely right-wing things that only right-wing people does that's not been brought up? Because I mean, the healthcare thing definitely left. The actual universal background checks, that's definitely a left-wing thing. So do you have anything that's purely-
LGBTQ, that's both sides. So that's not really, that's a moot point. Are you against welfare?
No,
Oh, well, you're a leftist. I mean, you're a leftist. Though.
Oh,
Sorry to tell you. Sorry to tell you.
and well, that's a moot point too, because most of them are on welfare too.
That's not what. No, most red states are welfare babies. Let's keep it
Yeah,
real.
that's my point. Yeah, most of them are on welfare. Exactly.
especially in rural America. I mean, if it wasn't for
Yeah.
welfare and Section 8, like, come on, man. There would be no rural America without that. Especially
Yeah, and I
jobs
see
out
your
there.
point about rural America. I don't know if I can live there. The way they vote for those kind of
Yeah,
Then
Republicans.
you're
Mrs.
definitely on the left. Come
Yeah,
on.
you on the left though. Yeah, sorry to inform you, bro. You on the left, man.
Okay.
Well, at least we got
We
somewhere.
want you to show up. We want you to show up every election, though. You got to be counted and you got to be heard. They're probably not going to help in Indiana,
last-
depending on what a place where you live at, unless it's like, Indianapolis.
Well, see, that's the other problem. And see, in Indiana, the Democrats here are basically wannabe Republicans.
I know they have to be because of what the state is. I mean, it's no different in Mississippi. All those people who are quote unquote blue state Democrats, dude, they're nothing but blue chip, blue dog Democrats. There are no real liberals in the South like that. But that's what you have when you live in areas like where you live at, and like areas like where I'm from. I know damn well like any of those people. Because a friend of mine is actually a Mississippi state senator, and his stuff is deeply conservative. He don't like it, but he has to take those positions because he's in Mississippi.
Okay.
AB, it's been good chatting it up, chopping it up with you. You have any last thoughts before we exit out?
No, not right now.
All right, cool, man. Thanks for coming
Hey,
up, bro.
thanks for coming through, bro.
No problem.
All right, peace, y'all. Peace, AB.
Peace.
You shut it down, Mike.
Yeah, any last thoughts you got?
Yeah, I mean, this was a good discussion. I'm glad AB came up. I didn't want to browbeat and jump on him or anything. Like I said, I do see this a lot. I think he might be around my generation. I think he's probably a millennial. You do see this like dissatisfied, young folk who just they just feel maybe their voice is not heard, and they use the right to express those grievances. And but I'm glad. I like what MOT like what he put out there. You got to show up. You got to vote. Because like I said, man, you don't vote, you let the fascists win. And then if voting didn't matter, right? And if voting didn't matter, they wouldn't do all this gerrymandering and disenfranchising votes and putting all these obstacles in front of people, moving voter polls across the city, away from black areas and stuff. Like if it didn't matter, then they wouldn't do all that, right? So yeah, just get out and vote. Let your voice be heard, man. So. Politics is war. Y'all have a good one, man. Peace.
Peace. MOT.
Oh yeah, man. Like Indiana has a lot of good places, man. Like Terre Haute. I mean, like versus all the other places in the state. Let's get that straight. I mean, like Terre Haute, you got Indianapolis, you got wherever Notre Dame is, whatever city that is. Escape me at this point. You got Evansville to the actual south. Like there are places there where you have better than no representation in the area where your actual points of view are better, more represented. If you live in some of these far off conservative areas, man, you ain't getting no representation, none whatsoever. You're gonna be disaffected with the voting process. You're gonna think, hey, none of this stuff gonna work, and there ain't no way this stuff's gonna be fixed. But bro, move to another area. God, I want you to participate in this process. Do not be languishing in these super red areas where you get no representation, because you're going to be disaffected just like that. I used to be disaffected like that too, until I moved to a better area and started getting involved and understood how stuff works and incremental progress and making sure that bad things don't happen when like goofy candidates split through, and next thing you know, we're 10 years behind over one administration. That stuff happens a lot, man. So I want to thank everybody for coming through. I want everybody to learn how this system works and actually participate in it. Thanks for having me on, Mike.
All right. Please hit the like button and hit that notification bell so you get all the updates from the Black Brain Trust.